Right, anyway. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try this again. For the last round of the Starsector Grand AI Tournament, 2v2s. Sadly, the last round because the organizers are a bit too busy to carry on with the... with organizing, sadly. So we've got down the last ones. And I'm going to be doing them in reverse order. Just so that we end up with the first place match going last to the third place match going second to last. And then the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything extra to add before we go today?
No.
No, everything's fine. Okay then. So the first match we'll have today is Chaos Farseer's Diablo Avionics versus Anne Saluna's SRA versus Grimm's low tech and Night Chase's Psi. A quick look at the board. I think I did a quick look beforehand. Looks like the Pandemonium has picked up a couple of Wave Pulse cannons, as far as I can tell. Yeah, Wave Pulse cannons, shield bypass and reactive armor, and the Wave Pulse cannons. Always has been a very aggressive flagship, the Pandemonium. It loves to get in there and do its thing. Sometimes that thing involves dying.
Interesting choice with the reactive armor, though.
Yeah. I guess they're going for the for a lot of high explosive on the low tech at least. Maybe offset that because people know that the Pandemonium has been shield bypass the entire tournament. I don't think this Scotty. No, that's a lie. The Scotty has changed. They've got Burchell beam repeaters as PD, which is just best PD. What if Nemo cosplayed while streaming? Turns out I'm actually cosplaying right now, just the camera's off. So the joke's on you guys.
Cosplaying as a naked man.
No. I'm wearing more than my birthday suit. On the low-tech Psi side, we have a Zone Scorcher on the Onslaught. And some miniguns as well. I do like the Zone Scorcher. And I'm not sure there's not a lot of... there are the Shikomis to deal with, that is true.
They say check the lion.
Yeah, I am. Get onto it. Best for last, go on. The Lion has actually a layout I really like this time. It's got a Zone Scorcher, Tachyon Lance, and a Gauss Cannon, as well as 2 heavy molars. I like that. I think that's a sensible loadout, you know? That has everything I want it to have. It's got a Gauss Cannon for the kinetic. It's got a Tachyon Lance to do the burst damage, and a Zone Scorcher for fun purposes, I guess. Not triple Zone Scorcher though. That would have been amazing. Because, you know, you need more area denial than triple Zone Scorcher. But I'd like that. Oh dear god, a decent serious loadout. Yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to see what this Nemi Lion can do. And the new ships, there haven't been many new ships, I don't think. Not as far as I can tell. Maybe a couple of extra strikers here and there. Yeah, some new strikers now. And some new.
I don't see anything new. I mean, I might not be seeing it, but
there's a new draft. I think, as far as I can, a new draft, maybe a new Enlil. I think the strikers are new because they've got Psi torpedoes.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
And maybe we have some new Hydras. I don't remember the Hydras being there last time.
There was at least one. I don't know if the 3 are there.
They've all got the same. They all got the same. No, they've not got the same loadout. Light energy blasters, high explosive mortars. Light energy blasters do machine guns, light mortars. Yeah, okay, well, whatever. We got.
I'm interested to see what those strikers are going to do against something like the Panda. It's just hyper aggression meets hyper aggression, but the strikers are tiny.
They're tiny, but they've got 2 cluster torpedo racks each.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe they're gonna try and Hail Mary it.
Yeah, get in there, and if you're caught unawares, that cluster torpedo rack can do a lot of damage. Anyway, so Chaos Farseer and Saluna versus Grimm and Night Chase. Let's go. Round 1. Thank you, Base Cannon, for the follow. Appreciate. Right. So what is the map we're looking at this time? The maps are very defensive this time around because of the they've got the points are spread out up and like top and bottom. So if they focus on defending their own points, they won't really meet in the middle a lot. So we'll have to see how this works out.
I wonder if the points are kind of a attempt to make them retreat less because they're close to an objective, so it's harder to get them pushed away from it.
Yep, and they are one of each, I believe. It's one comm relay, one sensor jammer, and one nav buoy. Nav buoy. So yeah, and it's easy to
navigational buoy.
Navigational buoy. Yeah, boy. Right. So Pandemonium's just going straight in. Flicker core goes in there. It's still got Glauc's lasers, which are Glauc's lances, which are just fantastic.
Anti-fighter.
Anti-everything, to be honest. It is definitely the most aggressive. Hello. The onslaught is engaging, however. No, we have progress. We have progress. That's a lot of fighters coming in from Psy. A lot of those ankless support fighters with the miniguns. So, and I'm not sure how many fighters are actually on the SRA DA side. I know there's several Wanzers in the Fractuses and stuff, but I'm not sure how much else they have.
Is this the Saluna or Sunrasha?
This is the Saluna. This is the Saluna fleet.
Right. Well, it looks like there's a mix of stuff maybe.
Yeah. I see Shikomi's there. Shikomi's charging. They've actually formed out quite a nice battle line. Although that Pandemonium reactive armor doesn't help at all against energy, so...
Yeah, once it's gone, so...
Yep, and I think it makes it more vulnerable to the Gauss cannon that the, Actually, there's a lot of kinetic damage on the onslaught as well, which is not working well with the reactive armor.
They accidentally got themselves countered.
Yeah.
I want to see the strikers blow something up.
Well, Vapor's down. In the tradition of all Vapors. No, the Panda's still there. Still firing.
The tradition of all Vapors is to not die. What are you saying? Are you back-talking Vapors?
In my experience, Vapors tend to die a lot.
He's just not building them right.
I am building them, is that the problem?
Yes.
The TPCs are energy, but there are several Mark 9 Ultra Guns and HVDs on the Onslaught as well, so the Onslaught's got a lot of kinetic damage built up. As well as...
It's got barely any high explosive.
Most of the high explosive is actually on the... The only high explosive this has got is... There's those Sabos as well. Yeah, there's a Sabos.
There's Sabos in the lab.
Yeah. The Sabos on the Onslaught as well.
I would assume they're harpoons.
No. There's a lot of kinetic damage on the Onslaught. Yeah, the reactive armor is working against it here.
The one round you pick reactive armor, you decide to fight an enemy that uses only kinetic damage.
And the energy from the TPCs, but other than that, pretty much entirely kinetic. Zone Scorcher's fragmentation, correct?
Yeah, it's fragmentation, AoE.
Practices are down, the Vapor is down. It's not going to be... Argus has died, so it's not going to be Shame. And of course, the Scud is still alive. Those Shikomis have swung matches in the past. And those are not like the Pandemonium is dead.
Plus, Low-Tech has a lot of safety override ships, whereas Psy doesn't, so if they can't finish it quickly, then CR will take
Ooh, that Charybdis is taking a lot of damage. That's a dead Charybdis. It's just sat in front of an onslaught. Taking the kinetic onslaught. Ha! Okay. Now, there's so much kinetic damage coming out of the onslaught. It's just hitting the lack of armor on the yeah, because the Pandemonium has no armor on that side at all, and it's just taking like HVD shots.
I want to say what they were going for was that the onslaught would be like a kind of a core, and then the rest of the fleets, like the strikers and stuff, are built for getting in there and actually popping the armor off.
Yeah. The reverse seems to have happened.
Well, I mean, the onslaught ended up being because the Panda has reactive armor, I'm sure, at least partially.
That's a dead Panda. That is a dead Panda and a dead Enlil as well. Ooh! And Scotty just turns around for some reason and presents the rear to the onslaught. That is melting armor. I mean, the onslaught may not have kinetic damage, but everything else there has. Annihilator rocket pods on the Lasher, a high explosive mortar on that Hydra. Some contender
Dominator equipped with.
Dominator has it's got the Hellspear cannons from when it was partnered with the DME.
Right, and it fired 2 of those right into the Scotty's rear right before it died.
Yep. Round 1 goes to Grim and Night Chase. The Pandemonium accidentally countered itself there. It's not shame, but it's not by much. Only 3 ships destroyed. For all of them for Psi, I think. Yeah, an Argus and 2 Hydras. All of Lotec survived.
Impressive.
Yep. All of Lotec survived that. I was not expecting that, to be honest.
That was a fairly quick round too, wasn't it? The timer was 3:12.
Yeah, that was
only 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5-minute round. Chaos Force, I couldn't afford a new ship for a long time. I'm assuming. I thought the Pandemonium would have like extended delicate machinery or something, but it does not.
No, it just costs 140 or something maintenance.
Just standard.
Ridiculous like that.
It doesn't need to have a. Yeah, it's 50 maintenance supplies a month, 50 a month, plus 50 to deploy. Right. Anyway.
Plus, it uses a lot of big guns and fighters.
Yeah. Also, the Panda spent a lot of time dealing with the fighter swarm. Is when a tunnel is line what happened. Yeah. Right. Round 2. Let's go. From the point of view of Psi and the Onslaught, I want to see more what the Nemean line is doing. We saw a lot what the Onslaught was doing last round, just because the Onslaught was key in taking out...
Carrying.
It was actually a carrier, yeah. I was gonna say, even when the Scotty turned up, even the Morris came in and actually shot with contender cannons. That's how that happened. It's like contender cannons dealt damage to the Scotty. Like, I never use contender cannons.
I barely even remember contender cannons are a thing until I see them.
Exactly. It's like, what is that? Oh, it's a contender cannon. It's the thing that you get after fighting a pirate fleet and you go, oh, great. Salvage.
Cool, 50 credits.
If you're lucky. Okay, Wanzers are coming in and just getting wrecked. That is so many fighters. So many of these anklet support wings. It's only fragmentation damage, but it adds up really quick. If they got no armor.
Yeah, their fighters just didn't really have enough counter to the lob of Achilles.
And also, Achilles does like fragmentation damage, but once the armor is gone, the fragmentation does as much damage as anything else.
Plus, it's that it's the minigun, right? So it's that fragmentation damage like beam.
Yeah.
So anything that it's incredibly efficient against other fighters because it doesn't miss. Something that a lot of people forget about. I forget about a lot of times. Right?
Yeah.
The fighters tend to miss their shots, so having a beam weapon like that is very powerful.
Ooh. A bit more of a respectful engage distance now from the Pandemonium. Pandemonium hasn't come in as hard as it has before. It's respecting the distance. I'd like to think that the ships could learn. It would be great if the AI could learn between the matches. But there you go. So, already last year's with safety overrides are dropping down. Here we have Zone Scorcher, the Gauss Cannon, and Tachyon Lance. The solid support. That draft is taking punishment. There are heavy mortars as well to support the Gauss Cannon.
The draft seems fine. It's using its nose.
Yeah. You have to remember,
until it isn't.
Well, the thing, the draft is turned around for some reason. Goodbye, draft. I think it was EMP'd by the Tachyon Lance, maybe?
I think it just... The I don't know what hit it exactly. Something glanced it, like it didn't quite hit the nose.
Yeah.
And that was basically it.
Argus down.
And, yeah, the tackle
Argus
went
down.
forward.
Lasher down.
According to Knight, every Argus is hacking comlinks.
Yes, hacking comlinks has been very prevalent here. The Nemean Lion's going for the back line and taking care of all the carriers, which is interesting. I mean, the Fractus can't stand up the Nemean Lion, even if it tried. So, Korakota has died, sadly. I like Korakotas. They're a bit of like a nice little line ship.
They're like almost a flagship for the Psy Navy. By which I mean they're like their primary one that you think of rather than
Ship of the line
that you fly.
Yeah.
Well, no, not ship of the line, but like the Scion ship, you know?
Yeah. It's like in a fleet that's so like specialized as Psy, it's one of the few all-rounder ships they get. Ooh, the Scotty is down. The Scotty's down before the Pandemonium. Interesting.
The Panda's backed off a little bit.
Yeah, the Panda's being far more judicious with the use of its flicker core, although it's the lack of armor is hampering it considerably. And there you go. It's got no more armor anymore, and it's just given all that broadside to the onslaught. And there's a Fractus left over, and there's a Tartarus over there. Which is still firing Baragos, but it has probably broken. I do believe that's a dead Tartarus, though. I'm surprised that none of the major ships seem to have broken down.
Well, when they're in their face that hard, they don't really get the chance to retreat.
Except when you... Come on, turn this way. Turn this way. There you go. Fire your wave pulse cannon. Okay, here we go. Reliance as well, huh? Oh my god, just in the face. Ramming!
Use the Reliance.
Ramming. That Hydra is just ramming the Tartarus. How crazy is that? Then this is another Tartarus. No, Clade. That was a Clade. I was like, that doesn't look like a Tartarus to me. Well, a solid 2-0 there. A better showing from DA and SRA this time around. 4 more ships lost, including a Korakota and 2 Arguses and a Lasher and 2 of the Strikers. So it's a better showing this time around.
I think those ships stayed a bit closer together, so they were capable of actually firing back.
Yeah. It's sort of unfortunate that you picking the reactive armor on the round that pretty much the Onslaught has nothing but kinetics and fragmentation, apart from the TPCs, of course. Like Mark 9 autocannons, Sabo SRM pods, 5 HVDs, light machine guns for close range.
And a Zone Scorcher, because why not?
And a Zone Scorcher. Because constant pressure is good.
Yeah, the Onslaught accidentally had the perfect build for that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good build regardless, because just if you're dealing with something that has shields. But that was powerful. That was powerful.
I mean, it's an Onslaught. Is there such a thing as a bad Onslaught build?
Not putting anything large on the large ballistic modes.
Well, that's not a strategy, that's a way of life.
Right, so the next one we have is High Tech comes and Nightkev Birdie Blackrock Drive Yards versus you, Dizzy in Stellar Imperium, and Dancy 212 in Neutrino. Paragon. Is that a Paragon refit? Or is that still the same Paragon?
Well, it can't be the same Paragon as last round because it was using some of my equipment.
It's using particle rifles now. It's got 2 particle rifles for some reason. It's got 2 particle rifles, accelerated shields, RFCs, flux distributors, stabilized shields. Sure.
Oh, good. He didn't change the build very much.
Were you hoping for that?
Well, I mean, you'll see with the Caesar.
Okay, and then we have the Cormoraja has HVDs, particle lances, comet light artillery, Gauss cannon. Did I have the Gauss cannon before? I don't recall.
That's basically the build it had before. Yes.
Yeah. And a couple
I
of
don't even know if
locusts.
that was changed.
Locusts with INM and shard cannon. Triple shard cannon INMs. That's a lot of shard cannons. I do like shard weaponry. Shard weaponry is lovely. Right, what did you do on your side? Is it just do you have a wolf as well, or is it just the Caesar?
I bought the wolf because I wanted to have a giggle, and I swapped the matriarch out for a Caesar that cost almost exactly as much as the matriarch.
Pulsar, sledge cannon, PD lasers, double swarmer. Okay, so right, Caesar, we have here the Crocea Moors, or Crocea Moors, which is the big gun in the middle, I think. Locust, double locusts, because to hell with fighters. Double Solus cannon, double flat cannons, 4 light assault guns, 4 Telums, and 5 PD lasers, with shield bypass, heavy armor, extreme modifications. Hang on, whoa. Hang on, wrong one. Extreme modifications and the automated repair unit.
Yep.
What, you needed 5 OP for some reason?
No, there's a reason for it.
Okay, I'm sure we'll find out. But that's 30. You get plus 30 for extreme modifications and 25 for the automated repair.
40
unit.
and wait, was it 30 and 25? Yeah, it was 30 to 25, I think.
30 to 25. Okay.
And the whole ship has, what was it, 8 hull mods? Yep, 8
turrets, ITU, shield bypass, heavy armor, RFC. Oh, of course, 8. 8. You also have 7 ships.
Why not?
The Banshee has 2 unstable floating cannons and 3 Squall MLRSs. MLRSI. The Maul, and then Mauls, and then we have at the end we have Relativities with iron cannons. Yep. And the Hacksaw has scatter beams, which it was there when Sai was there. Let's go.
Yep.
Round 1. Not a Banshee Norn, sorry, it's a Banshee, it's just a regular Banshee. I say Banshee Norn because I had a Banshee Norn in my campaign, so I'm used to saying Banshee Norn, but yeah, Banshee.
Yeah.
Banshee is the missile ship, the Banshee Norn is the heavy broadsider.
I see that both sides have done the similar strategy of getting their capitals to spawn on opposite ends of the fleet.
Although the Banshees is like, you know what? I need to go over there now. So that Banshee is very maneuverable.
The Banshee loves not being in the front. We kind of noticed this in testing.
Alright, so we have fighter training started. We have shard cannons. Ooh, whoa, nice dodge by the Locust there, just dodging the Giga Blasts from the Maul. Maul's trying to shoot at crates. No. Okay, here comes the Squall Barrage. A devastation for everything that's got a shield. That's a lot of kinetic missiles just heading into something.
Once the Squalls start shooting, they never stop shooting.
Once you Squall, you can never stop. Okay, the Sieger's coming in. It's Missile Autoforge on the Banshee. What does the Sieger have again?
The Caesar?
Yeah.
The Caesar has 8 different hull mods. Do you want me to list them?
No, I mean the ship system.
The ship system is that like electrified energized armor thing where it zaps targets away from it.
Oh yeah, it pushes things away. Right. Locust is there's a whole right here. So it's Aurora here is got heavy blasters and light and it's a nice and sensible Aurora.
Not a 3 Sabo Aurora.
No. Particle rifles are firing away at the fighters. Okay, so Paragon is engaging the. Well, is trying to engage. No, is engaging. Paragon is ignoring the Caesar and kind of facing the that pile driver. There we go. Are we in proper engagement now? There you go.
So the reason why I have extreme modifications and automated repair unit is that it doesn't have a shield, and it's going to have to fight a Paragon. So that means that when it takes damage, it can repair its destroyed guns very quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm not sacrificing ordnance points for it.
Okay, so it's more that you wanted the automated repair unit and didn't want to spend the points on it, essentially.
Yeah.
And of course, because the automated repair unit will also help with the breakdowns you get from extreme modifications.
Uh-huh. So basically, the trade-off is that every once in a while, one of the engines pops, but it has like 8 engines, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I'm doing a quick check on who's broken. I think Kurmiraj is broken. Yeah, Kurmiraj is going to be. I'm going to put Kurmiraj in the back line. Oh yeah, the suggestion we had, I think, was basically that I do this. I basically bring it in quick. Hang on, it's here. Then immediately bring it back over there. Hopefully that wakes it up a little bit. That was the suggestion I had from Tardiflet. Just pull it in, pull it out again, and see if that wakes it up. Doesn't seem to have done so. Does not seem to have woken it up. Nope, that's still fast asleep. Right, okay. I might have to put it in the back line.
Yeah, just shove it in the back line.
I'll put it in the back line here. Hang on. What's coming its way? Some missiles and fighters are coming its way. See, this is the problem, because now I get to... Hang on. I want to see if the missiles and fighters wake it up, at least. Because things are coming its way. No, it's turning, at least. That's something. And there is a relativity there, so there's stuff for it to attack. It's just... Fine, I'm going to put you in the back line. Go back to the back line. You're out of range of everything.
I would love everyone to appreciate the unstable photon cannons on the Banshee, because it is a good gun.
Did? Okay. I was wondering what the galvanic... I think this is a galvanic armored fighter, which is what that was. Oh, that Dictator is taking a lot of damage from... was taking some damage from Tachyon Lances. Kurmiraj
is like as armored as a Dominator, I think. It takes a lot of damage.
Yeah. What have you got in it? You've got the Shrike launchers and several sledges, I remember.
Yeah, that's the one I have had from the Shadow Yard round.
Because Kurmiraj just does not want to take part at all. It's just sitting in the back there. I said Paragon's retreated as well. So everyone's sort of fallen back considerably.
Oh, they left a convergence really in the open there.
Yep. They've all fallen back. They've lost...
The Banshee doesn't need to be nearby the fight, though, is the thing.
No, the Banshee's got like long-range missiles. They can just sit back. I think all these guys have fallen back. These guys are in danger of retreating if they get pushed back much further.
It's interesting to see this already because there hasn't been very many losses. Like everything's just like...
A lot of the small ships have died, I think.
Well, yeah, but like that's not that much. I mean, not really. From what I've seen.
There's a Scorpion and 80% hull.
To see the AI break this instantly, I guess.
I mean, the Paragon's really fallen back. I'm gonna pull them forward again. Things. What do I do? Do I let them stay here, or do I go and break in? Like, do I move them back into range? Because that is like putting your ships back into range is game changing. I'm gonna move them forward into the Nebula line, because at least something will happen at some point. I'm gonna move them into the Nebula line, because otherwise nothing's gonna happen at this point. Because they're just sitting at the back, and they're gonna retreat, and the retreating is not the point. It's just retreating is not the fun part.
I really hope they don't retreat, because that's just awful.
Yeah. It's not as if like you have literally a Paragon on your side. No, a Paragon should never discuss. A Paragon has taken no damage, by the way. It's not even a hurt Paragon. It's a Paragon that's taken no damage. That Kurmiraj, on the other hand. It's really difficult to decide what to do with that situation, because I genuinely have no idea where I should be putting ships.
I just noticed the Kurmiraj's ship name that was generated is Geneva Suggestions.
Yeah, Geneva Suggestions, indeed. Why the Kurma? Yeah, what? Did you see what finished the Kurma off?
Yeah, the Kerma it tried to use the interdictor array, and then the Maul fired its shots into it, so it got really crippled, and then the Banshee finished off with a UPC.
Yeah. The Paragon is too high flux, it cannot deal with this.
Yeah, the Paragon wasn't facing the Caesar, which is a bad idea. It's trying to go for the Dictator, and I think it killed something that I didn't notice, but now it's just getting 3v1.
Yeah. But there's 3 Telums as well, so it's lots of you can't ignore that for too long.
It's got 6 Telums on it, actually, because the Dictator has a pair of them as well.
Oh, yes.
And then the Hammerhead is built specifically for killing big things, because I didn't really want to bother making it anti-fighter or anything.
But you got Locusts on the Caesar for that.
Yeah, the we use the Neutrino and II fleets are both kind of built specifically to just kind of throw missiles at problems until they go away. BlackRock and High Tech both have very powerful shields, so we figured, you know what, the Banshee could equip a bunch of Squalls and the Unstable Photon Cannon, so we can still like fire bursts. And the Caesar, it's got a pair of larges as well. Why not Locusts? Also, in testing, the Banshee refused to frontline ever, so it just became a necessary step to give it something that it could shoot over targets.
Timeouts. Oh, Relativity died. That Convergence is getting pummeled though. Oh, a lot of ion fire, and of course the EMP fire from the Relativity into that vortex. The Convergence is getting pummeled. There's a Locust there just died. Again, not closing to finish off, although... Last kill with the... Nope. I also thought the last kill was going to come from the Unstable Pulse Cannon. There's some Wisdoms here, because at some point someone teamed up with the RA. Ooh.
Yeah, that was me. I had I put Wisdoms on the Princeps in my first PvP round, and I never retired that thing, because not Wisdoms, Fervors.
Sorry, yeah, Fervors.
The slow-moving gunship with 3 guns.
Yeah, it's got one. Is it 1 choir and 2 litanies, or 1 litany and 2 choirs, or something like that?
No, it's the identical loadout that my other Princeps has with a Vicarious wing, except I swapped the Vicarious for a Fervor wing. Because Aura weapons don't. The Interrex has a bunch of Aura weapons, but the Princeps does not.
Yes.
So I'm kind of disappointed. I guess I was just really hoping that High Tech and Birdie would have come up with something.
I know.
I wasn't really planning on going full tilt into this match, but when I saw that I was facing the Paragon, I kind of took it as a challenge. And I think the
Paragon didn't. The Paragon didn't engage. The Paragon kept focusing on the wrong target. So I'm not sure why that was, but it kept focusing on what I think would be the wrong target. It kept turning to face different ships rather than facing its main threat and putting damage on the main threat.
What the Paragon is doing is it's trying to shoot at the thing that it thinks it can kill most quickly, so it's focusing down the lighter targets, because the Caesar does the same thing. A lot of times in testing, the Caesar and Paragon would be like next to each other the entire fight, but never actually fire shots at each other. They would just be firing at the support ships. So, but the difference is that the Paragon relies so much on the auto pulse hard points for actual DPS against shields especially.
Yeah.
Whereas the Caesar it doesn't matter, it doesn't care, it can fire at anything in front of it.
Yeah, Tech had said like after the first few minutes, there was such a swarm of things getting killed on this side, because they lost the Medusas, a few of the Locusts. I think they lost the Vortex early on as well, and then they just went into retreat mode, but they can't retreat, so they just got back to the end of the map and just stayed there. You say you see the message when they want to retreat. I get situations where they don't retreat and just...
Yeah, no, they do that when they take like significant damage.
Yeah.
Arbitrators are very pretty. You're right, Lightning.
The arbitrators are gorgeous. Every once in a while, you just look at the Caesar and just see, oh, there you go, a Telem's gone down. Extreme modifications, turning off everything a little bit at a time.
Yeah, it's only ever about 3/4 of combat capacity, but that's better than without the automated repair, where in testing without it, anytime it faced the Paragon, it just had its front weapons completely disabled the whole fight.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be a consistent 2/3 efficiency versus 0 efficiency.
The Cormoraja is staying back. Look at ships seem to be facing each other. Oh, and the interdictor field is stopping the Telems and it's turned off now. But it's always fun to see the interdictor field do its thing, or the brake field emitter, as it's now called.
Oh, they changed the name. Okay.
Yeah, it's now called the brake field emitter.
And it looks particularly pretty with the Telems and stuff, because they're just those big, glowy projectiles that...
Okay, the Paragon is turning to engage the Maul, one thinks.
That's good for them. The Maul's one of the big damage dealers on the fleet.
And Maul's quite high flux as well. It's got quite high flux as well. So, yep, there you go. Maul is overloaded, which means that the Paragon can kill it. Now, okay, Maul is down. Maul's down. Banshee's backing off.
Down in a second from...
Cormoraja has completely backed off again. Like, completely. The Cormoraja is left. Like, even if it is a carrier, it's so far back it can't reinforce properly. That's the problem with carriers. Like, for example, do I let the carrier stay there or do I bring it forward? Because the Cormoraja...
The Paragon's getting ganked right now. It has the entire fleet on it.
Yeah, because there's literally no other target here.
The Hammerhead is squaring up to it. Right now, the Hammerhead has squared up to a Paragon.
Yeah. And the Cormoraja is like, can you please just come forward? I mean, God's sake.
The Banshee's flanking. I've never seen this before.
Well, the Banshee is just keeping up an endless supply of squalls, while occasionally just nipping in to fire the unstable pulse cannon.
You have 3 large missiles and 3 expanded missile racks. You use them.
Yeah. Yep. You just galvanic to single fighter over there.
Yeah, that's all right. As long as it doesn't galvanic the Paragon, because that's actually a bad idea.
I think it did, but the ship's so massive it didn't actually move much. And again, and then the Cormoraja does not want to be there. The Cormoraja does not want to be there at all. Okay, hang on. Okay, we have Xiphos is now firing onto the Caesar, and given the Paragon time to fall back, and it's lowered its shields to try to vent a little bit, to try to lower some of that hard flux. It's not venting yet, because if it vents, it dies. There's too many long-range weapons in the field. But it's definitely lowering its flux, and the Banshee's now on higher flux. The Cormoraja has decided it doesn't want to play anymore.
I think the Banshee has hardened shields, which was one of the changes I suggested. Because I mean, when you only have two of the weapons equipped, and then the 3 missiles, it's got 2 unstable photon cannons and no other turrets.
Yeah.
You get a lot of ordnance points to play with.
Yeah. Right, things have calmed down a little bit. Battle lines have reformed. Paragon hasn't had a moment to actually vent. It just occasionally lowers its ships. Oh, Caesar's facing away, but they are at max range of each other. They can't really do much. Oof. That is a overloaded vortex is going to go down. Not sure to what exactly happened there, but it went down. Your wolf went down.
The wolf's final words were, war be most unpleasant.
It's not wrong. Relativity's taking damage, destroyed. Okay, so both capitals are still up. Still have some. A Convergence has retreated. I mean, literally just saw it disappear there as it retreated. There's that one frame window. If it's far back enough, it will just retreat.
Yep.
And then no one else wants to fight. No one else wants to play. The Kurmaraja is there firing. Okay, it's active. People got close enough to wake up the Kurmaraja, I think. Convergence is down.
Chat is theorizing the Kurma wasn't turned off so much as just terrified of the fight.
Yeah. The Paragon has retreated now as well. The Paragon has
Damn,
managed.
Kurma, you really hate that hammerhead. Fired a Gauss cannon right into its engine block. That's mean.
Yep, the Paragon has retreated, however, which means pretty much the Kurmaraja is the only ship, apart from that Locust, that's still in the field. That Paragon has retreated. Now, we have had a hero Kurmaraja in the past. During the last
You can do it.
During the last tournament, Kurmaraja managed to hero against the remnants. No, sorry, against the walls. The Kurmaraja managed to kill a wall. So, let's see what happens now.
Kurmaraja is exceeding both of the Blackrock.
Congratulations, meme. You've made a Paragon run away from you.
Everyone said the Paragon was a bit overpowered. I say it's just a bit bloated. It's not overpowered in any way. Just
Kurmaraja has to carry now. Kurmaraja decided, you know what? We need to carry now.
the Paragon's in that nice place where it's definitely powerful, like objectively so, but you can definitely build around countering it. You have to actually commit resources. Interex going in against the Kurma one-on-one. That's not going to work.
Yep, the Kurma is the Kurma does seem to have woken up a little bit now.
It heard that the ship system can't block energy weapons, and it thought, "Hey, I got energy weapons," and now it's at 30% hole on my screen. It's about to die.
Oh, the Aurora's still alive. Wow, I completely ignored that bottom half of the map. The Aurora's still there.
Yeah, the Aurora likes to not die. Honestly, in testing, the results were 99, like almost always based on what the Aurora did.
Come on, Aurora, then.
There were matches where the Neutrino and II fleet would just get destroyed by single-handedly by the Aurora, flanking them and taking out the carriers from behind.
The Aurora's now been flanked by the Dictator and one of the Princeps. The Kurmaraja is still there. A lot of its weapons seem to have been turned off by damage or EMP at the moment. So it's a little bit unfortunate. The Locust finally down. I think we're down to the Aurora and the Kurmaraja. The Aurora has 2 high flux and is sitting in front of the Dictator's multiple high explosive weapons. The Lux repeaters, the light assault guns, and the sledge guns. A lot of high explosive damage at the front there. It's a very high explosive little nose.
The Dictator I kind of just built to make it look flashy as hell.
Yeah, that's
the Needler and the Lux combo. It just is pretty.
And that little barrage. Oh, there you go. Oh, killed what looks like by a fervor. I'm calling that shame because the Paragon retreated.
You don't have to rub it in, man.
It's a problem with it's the AI limitations in the game, unfortunately.
Another worth mentioning is that the Caesar and Banshee, I think, were shut off that whole time after the Paragon retreated.
Were they?
Well, they were gone. Like, yeah, maybe. Or the Kurma was kiting them. It's hard to tell zoomed in like that because they're all in space, you know?
Death by sledge gun. That was harsh. I mean, it's never great when things like retreat, and when the Paragon leaves, it's just, you know. It was still there. It was out of the way. It could have just vented and came back in. It's got a fortress shield. Okay, so Tardy has some solutions to retreat, so hopefully next time we'll have some solutions. So if it happens again, blame Tardy. Right, next is the match for 3rd place. Which is... hang on. There we go. That's the correct one. That was the correct one. It's Morsha's DME with Nia's Foundation of Borken versus CJ USA's ORA and Lightning JC's Metalson. I believe Morsha and CJ USA are fighting for third place here. So Jeanne d'Arc has Tracers. Jeanne d'Arc has eschewed. Ooh, interesting. Jeanne d'Arc has eschewed almost all of its weapons and only has 3 Spirali fighter wings. Is that right?
So they're trying to go for anti-fighter rather than just all damselflies.
Yeah. That's,
But, also under-equipping the fighter bays.
Yeah, there are 3 empty fighter bays on the on that Jeanne d'Arc. And the clearly Spirale wings on the Durlan, Spirale on you, high intensity laser on you, hybrid beamer nodes. It's 3 Snow Gooses, 2 Durlans, and a Tunguska, and a really high flux capacity, hardened shields. Jeanne d'Arc, but with very little weapons.
Maybe look at it in refit screen, because maybe they did something we can't tell.
No, it's got 119 OP it's not using.
Okay, that's strange.
Had no money left. Did you add the snow geese on or something? Yeah, is that? Yeah, there's at least max capacitors and vents, so it's got a huge capacitance. That's weird. And what do we have on the Basatan? The Basatan has Chasseur multi-ASMs, Hell Riders, Grey Stabs, Ultra Shock Beams, Heavy Shock. Okay, so all the damage has gone onto the Basatan, like severely so. That is a lot of Shock Beams as well as the Chasseur multi-ASM. That's nice. Ooh! Oh dear. Oh my god. It's going to do what it did with Banishes last time, it's going to do with Hell Riders and the Chasseur.
Boy, oh boy.
Oh my god, I want to see that happen. When that happens, I want that clipped. I want that clipped, okay? When that happens, I want that clipped. Right, on the ORA Metalson side, the Enlightenment has gone Ion Beams, double high intensity lasers, 8 Graviton Beams, and 8... It's the beam ship we had before, isn't it? Nothing changed, I don't think. It's got crazy high flux shield efficiency. And there's a Bliss here, another Bliss with Choir, Salamanders, and Tacticals. Is that the same one? Choir, Salamanders, and Tacticals. Yep. And then there has been a flagship change from the Metalson. They got a Gadfar as an extra ship, Locust, heavy autocannons, heavy combat machine guns, cracklers, and light masers. But also, the new flagship is the one I can't pronounce, the Thrudgelmir. Thrudgelmir?
I don't know how to pronounce it either, honestly.
Thrudgelmir, with an invocation launcher. The thing is, like, it gets better because it's got an invocation launcher, a Gilmnir planet cracker, which I'm going to call the planet cracker from now on. Some Actel cannons, some silver cannons, and a fervor wing and a Negel standard wing. It's a Negel. I don't even know what a Negel is. A lot of fighters though, like a lot of carriers on both sides, on the ORA side. And the Thrudgelmir has a fighter bay as well. There's 1 fighter bay, but comes with 2 fighter wings.
Yeah, it's got the Negel or Nedge. I don't know. It has a built-in plus a extra fighter.
Plus an extra, right? Okay, yes. Okay, cool. Anyway, round 1, let's go. I definitely want to see what the Basatan can do with its ship system now, because if it does it with Hell Riders are really painful. The Dole is at 90% hull. What the hell just happened to that Dole? Hang on, what? What? Hang on, pause. Who's at 90% hull?
It hit the Jeanne d'Arc shield very hard.
But
It just hit the Jeanne d'Arc shield very hard.
And they repaired it, and it has repaired itself apparently.
Yeah, because it took it all in one hit. No, it's the one that's behind the Jeanne d'Arc. It doesn't look like it's repaired.
No, it's that one over there. Yeah.
Like 5 of them.
There you go. Oh look, all the damsel flies. All the damsel flies. Damsel flies are still super strong. Okay, there's the planet cracker. The planet cracker, I believe, is a beam that requires a charge up time, but it has 1,000 DPS and 500 EMP DPS. And it's a beam, so you can just keep it on as well.
1,000 DPS.
Here we go. It's overloaded though by that chasseur. That was multiple chasseurs and there it happens again. It's happening again. Here they go. Oh my god, it's getting wrecked. Completely obliterated. The Bassetan's kinetic and high explosive mix. It's both types of missile there. It's firing it again. How many times can it do this? Because that's a
I think it can do it like based off of recharge.
Well, that's it. That's the 4th time it's doing it now. What the hell? Just what? That was.
This is a fair and balanced faction.
It's 5th time. Look at this. Look at that. Holy mother of moly. Obliteration.
Definitely doesn't have
Again.
black.
Again. Look at that. Jesus, how many times is it doing this? I've lost count now.
It's going to do it until the screaming stops, Nemo.
Man, the Thrugomir didn't actually do anything.
Nope, just got deleted.
It took 2 blasts, but yeah, holy moly. The Enlightenment's still there. The Enlightenment has the shields to take that blast, but it's still very, very scary. Oh my god. At least the Bastion seems... Nope, I was gonna say, it seems to have chilled off. No, it's firing again. Christ. That is a lot of missiles. I wasn't gonna do this with an Auric announcing it'd be the last round, so fuck it. Fair enough, I appreciate that. It's amazing to watch. It's the level of missile spam I love, to be honest.
It's like a level that shouldn't exist, but you enjoy it at least once.
Yeah. This is like the end of a Gundam season where like the most overpowered Gundam just starts firing every missile it's got. They overloaded the Enlightenment. That's how many missiles that is.
Bye-bye Felicity class.
Yeah. Like, while I like that ability, I think I can use it just maybe a smidgen too often.
Maybe it shouldn't use it at all. I mean, it just kind of deletes ships.
It also is sort of a bit of an abuse because it can keep doing that for Hellriders it no longer has. Like, it hasn't got Hellriders. All the Hellriders, the Timber Cross Frontier movie, the Hellriders were single Hellriders, but because it's got Hellriders on there, it can just fire them for the thing.
Yeah, why not? So the Jeanne d'Arc doesn't have any weapons or anything, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't need any.
On the field.
Doesn't need anything. Fair, even this, it doesn't even require the shock beams. That's an insane ship. That was beautiful to watch, by the way. Like, that was beautiful to watch. It's madness, but it was beautiful to watch.
Probably doesn't feel too good for the team that lost.
No. But beautiful to watch. Jesus. 292 seconds. Sub 5 minutes. Oh, and it wasn't a shame because they lost a single dole.
Well, no, the Dole lost a Dole, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god. That was crazy. That's... Genuinely wonder what that is. I think Nia built that to show a point that that essentially is what a damselfly attack is. 6 damselflies.
Nah, this is worse.
Oh.
You can shoot down damselflies.
You can shoot down missiles. A phase damper field ship. This is a turning. Mod needs to be balanced, not a weapon to kill everyone. It has, if Blowthrower's reading the fire, it has 3 uses and a quarter use reload per second. So it gets a use back every 4 seconds.
That, okay. Alright.
I am confused.
Okay.
I am confused. Well, round 2, I guess. Who's it? It's not. Who actually designs the mod? Because Nia did the translation, correct? I think it was Originum's mod.
Nia's translation, and I think they actually help make some of the content too. But otherwise, it's the same developer Ori who makes the
Aprolite, which I believe is, I've been told, is extremely overpowered. I've been told anyway. I've never actually used Aprolite myself. Oh, let's run. The Roma is down. Didn't even know what the Roma was, but it's down. Bassetan is just sitting pretty back there. It knows what it wants to do. It knows. Here he comes. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to separate the Hell Riders from the Chasseurs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 Hell Riders. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it fires 7 copies of every missile it's got. It's got 1 Chasseur launcher and 2 Hell Riders. It fires 7 copies of every missile it's got. And those 3 over there were the ones it actually has. And it fires them again over here. Oh my god. To be fair, I loved seeing it with the Banishes. Seeing it with Banishes was still beautiful. It's just too often. It's just... give it a 60-second cooldown or something, but you can't deal with this. Right. There you go. And that's the field gunner down again. 2... shock beams, I think. Can't really tell. Anyway, it is actually firing the shock beams. I wasn't sure. Okay, let's see. So, again, 7 Chasseurs. No ship in the game can fire 7 Chasseurs at once. Because that's 7 large missile slots.
7 per weapon, it's 30 total projectiles split between brew weapon and burn thing.
Okay. Which means if you only had a Chasseur, it would fire 30 Chasseurs. And the Chasseur is a MIRV missile.
And on the cutting off a lot.
You're cutting up a bit.
Also, keep in mind that the ship system reduces damage, but anytime you reduce damage for a missile, it doesn't affect the secondary projectiles, i.e. MIRVs. So
yeah.
Those Chasseurs are all full damage, even though the actual, like the Hell Riders are not full damage.
There's still a lot of them, though. But if it divides between the projectiles it's got, and you put 1 Chasseur and no other missiles, it'll fire 30 Chasseurs. Which is 30 MIRVs on a large missile slot. That's crazy. Put the Cyclone torpedo launcher. You'll get 30 Reapers flying towards something. Ori needs to have a look at that, because that's insane. Yep. Like whatever the Basatan looks at eventually gets wrecked. But even then doesn't even need to do that anymore. That's still alive. We have the Gadfar is still around. Hang on. But it's being chased around by a couple of these. What are they called again? These are the Migo class. Ooh. I was going to say that's very Cthulhu-esque, but of course I'm talking about Borkin. Ooh, lovely. And now we're down to the last Kustos, which is going to get destroyed by a lot of anti-fighter missiles, it looks like. You still with me, Dizzy? Or has his voice died for you too much?
If you can hear me like hell, I can barely hear you. Hopefully that it's not ended, not yours.
You're cutting out a little bit for me. I think it is a bit of lag, I think. But that was shame because the Basatan doesn't let anything survive long enough. But that is insane. Part of the tournament is to show up issues like this, but now that we've showed it up, I think it definitely needs examining. Right, so third place goes to Morsha. This match definitely carried heavily by Nia. And next is the last place match, which will be hang on, it's not last place. The first placement. The last match is the first place match. It's basically between Blowthorn DME with Karoi's Orere and Snarasha's SRA with Herflex's mid. Basically, Blowthorn and Snarasha are fighting out for first place. So what do we have new here? We have new Huskies. The Jeanne d'Arc has 2 Spirales, 2 Mystères, and 2 Aigrettes. So they've removed there's no more Damselflies on the Jeanne d'Arc. High intensity laser, heavy rail accelerators, XRM launchers, Hellrider XRM launchers, Flax, Spirale, good. And I'm assuming new Huskies. And a new flagship for the ORA, the Discernment class, a carrier, which has 8 fighter bays, 2 Tracer LRM launchers, which I think is that the pod, or is that the single one?
Seriously, both John's under-equipped their stuff.
No. This Jeanne has not under-equipped. But this is several tracers on the Discernment, 4 medium hybrid repeaters, 4 Spirales, and 2 Aigrettes. That's 8 fighter wings. Okay, it's locked into 2 Wisdom fighter wings, but still. Yeah, the Jeanne d'Arc has not used Damselflies, but it's still mostly fully equipped. A lot of small slots are empty, but it's mostly fully equipped. And on the enemy side, on the Snarasha side, we have the Skadi, which I don't believe has changed loadout once this entire tournament. Wave Pulse Cannon, Chain Gang CPCs, Storm Blasters, Shikomi. I don't believe that has ever changed. And more Seskis and an Anu class at the end. And this is the Charybdis with the Ulan Siege Laser. We have the Monitors, the multiple archers with a lot of harpoons. The Victory has Swarmers, dual flak cannons, Mark 9s, heavy machine guns. It's got a lot of anti-fighter, lots of anti-fighter on the thing. Heavy machine guns, flak cannons, Swarmer SRM launchers. The Victory has gone heavily, hi Aurelius, is gone heavily anti-fighter. And we have here Griffin. Griffin's got has got Locusts, Sabos, and Atropos racks, and there are several kites as well. Look at me versions, Railguns, Salamanders, and Swarmers. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of anti-fighter. There's a lot of anti-fighter. Is that reactive armor on the... Reactive armor on the Victory So, guarding against the Damselfly Rush, which hasn't come apparently. When will the VOD be up after the stream? Probably tomorrow morning for me, because I usually leave it editing overnight and I'll put it up tomorrow morning. Anyway, round 1. Let's do this. Karoy and Blowthorn versus Shanasha and Herflex. A lot of fighters on both sides, I believe. More fighters on the DME side, of course, because they've got a capital carrier. But then Skadi's also a capital carrier, but they've got lesser carriers around. The only carriers we have here are the Skadi and the Charybdis, versus several small carriers and 2 capital carriers on the ORA DME side. That is a lot of fighters, hoping that the victory and all the anti-fighter plans work out, because it's a lot of fighters here. One Seski is down already, but it's a Seski, so that's its job. The Shikomis are coming in and trying to attack, but the Shikomis are not designed to kill fighters. They haven't got the weaponry for it. The SRA did not take any compression as far as I'm aware. Several locusts around, and Charybdis is a little bit exposed, but it's managed to hold its own. Front lines just have maintained. Locusts fired from the Baikel. Is that's a Kashisha perforators on the Wanderer over there. Other than the Seski, things have been kind of static so far. Incoming Harpoon swarms have started. That is a fluxed out Durlon, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to capitalize on that. One Seski is down. Baikel's got enough point defense to stop most of that, as well as on its shield. Several tracers coming out from multiple ships. Tracers, of course, being the DME's answer to the Salamander. Okay, so there's a little bit of fire here and there, and causing the SRA mid-fleet to fall back a bit. That's a dead victory. That victory decided to not play the game. As far as I can tell, or is it turning to face that Husky? I think it's turning to try to face the Husky. The engines are on. It's not dead in the water. The engines are on. It's turning to try to face a Husky. It's trying to attack the Husky, as far as I can tell, which is not where it wants to be right now. It does not want to abandon the front lines. It's got so much anti-fighter on its capability on the victory that it cannot afford to be out of the way. It is alive. It's maximum driving it towards a Bliss and a Husky. That Bliss and a Husky have distracted the big part of the defensive line here. The Skadi is not built like a tank. It's overloaded as well, and it's being hit by a high-intensity laser, as well as multiple other missiles. That's the Skadi down. The victory is arguably thrown this match, or this round at least, by engaging with small fighters. Victory's just like, oh yeah, I need to be over there now. Like, yes, Victory, you do. You need to be over here now. Look at all this. Look at all this anti-fighter weaponry. All this point defense. All this anti-fighter weaponry, and none of it was put to good use. I don't think you fired a weapon against those 2 ships. The Victory is snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. I won't say jaws of victory. It wasn't a guaranteed thing, but they definitely made it a lot harder for themselves. Because when it's here...
they don't far away. Outflank them.
Welcome back. He's still a bit choppy, but hi. That thing of the victory arguably threw the match by just abandoning the front lines completely. And it needs to get closer to fire most of its weapons again. No, most of its weapons were off, I think. Yeah, it's taken a lot of damage on the side, which has disabled several of its weapons, but they're coming back online now. It is managing to kill fighters that get close. It's just really too little too late. It's not going to get swarmed by every fighter under the sun. It's only got a frontal shield, and it's not even that wide. So, it is getting hit by everything. All its weapons are down, pretty much, just due to damage. It takes a long time to die because it's a Victory. Victory's got a lot of health, a lot of armor. It's just... it just was not putting any of that health, armor, or weaponry where it could have done the best good. Bliss coming in, Bliss and Husky going, you know what, we can do this. Several XRMs coming in from... these are Tracers and XRMs, I believe, on these ones. Oh, they might just be Tracers. I think they might just be Tracers. But those, what are these? These are Sanctuaries. Firing multiple Tracers. Tracers. And that is the Monitor actually shamed. Victory caused the shame by not being there. Actually was ashamed. Wow. That Victory definitely misplayed. Like, definitely misplayed. It just... that wasn't even... it was like... shut down. It was active the entire time. It just picked a really bad target. Not even a distraction frigate was slain. That was rough. That was very, very rough. Husky Bliss MVP, definitely. For that. Hopefully, the Victory will get its rear into gear this time and actually go into the fight. PogChamp Husky. Yeah. Single Husky managed to completely derail the fight because support ship, arguably, support ship, carrier, battle carrier, frontline ships. This is the mainstay of the front line, and it's slow, so it takes a while to get anywhere, fair enough. But it cannot afford to turn around and face a Husky. Well, the Sesky's down. Okay, whoa. That... I believe that was a Sesky crushed between the Skadi and a Tartarus. That Sesky died to friendly fire, literally by being crushed between a shield and a hull. Oh, I got all the fighters. All the fighters. Where's our fighter screen? It's right there. That Charybdis got way too far forward, has got overloaded, and is now going down to everything. I can't even tell what's happening over there. But that Sesky just... wow. Got crushed. Like, taking damage because of ramming, fair enough, that happens. Getting crushed to death? I'm impressed. Tartarus is going to overload due to all the... adds to all the locusts. Oh! And the high-intensity laser managed to sneak in the kill there. And still so many missiles flying around. Spirales are still doing... are not damselflies, but they have missiles as well. They have the anti-fighter missiles. The Skadi is overloaded. The Victory is kind of being distracted by that whatever that is. I forgot the name of that thing now. By Sanctuary. Again, I think it's a problem with how the fleets are deployed, because I definitely think the Victory, being a slow ship, should be on the front lines, but because of the way the fleets were deployed, it was deployed at the back, and it has taken this long to come up to the front. So it's possibly a speed issue as well. It's going to maximum drive straight into the Sanctuary, though. Is it going to kill a target? Is it going to be able to kill the Sanctuary? Oh! Oh! Nope, the Sanctuary is still alive. That Sanctuary is still alive. This Victory has been flamed out. It's been tagged by several shock beams and locusts on the rear. The Monitor is actually a bit of a shield tank for it, but now it's got an entire carrier fleet of fighters coming in behind it, including Spirales, Fervors, Wisdoms. Lasers disabled, weapons disabled. That Communion is taunting it now by just staying in the front lines. That victory, I would hazard, is that it is actually a reckless victory. It's picking a target and sticking with it no matter what. Victory did not use once its maximum drive to catch up this time. I don't think it did. And that's a Tartarus on relatively high flux being singled out, pretty much. These ships are trying to retreat.
Just watched it use the max drive to ram the...
Use the max drive to ram something. Yeah, it tried to at the end, but I think it got flamed out before it could do anything.
It rammed it and pinged it away.
Okay. It rammed it and pinged it away. No carrier turning. It would make a difference from this full carrier turning, essentially. I would be interested in that. Kites are down. Just down to a couple of monitors, because monitors are little stubborn buggers who don't want to die, but they'll die eventually. And that's the last ship. That's the monitor. Boom. Shamed again. The victory had that sanctuary within 10 pixels of death. 10 pixels of death. Not even that. Less than that. Whew. Ah. Wow. That was crazy. So, loads of 2-0s this time around. That was very, very painful. Double shamed. And that was the end. That's literally been it. That was the last round, and first place goes to Blowthorn. I'm not sure how all the else balances out, but first game goes to Blowthorn. I think technically Snarasha and Morsha tie in second. I can't be sure, but that was crazy. The shame the victory just did not put its itself in the front lines properly. Ah, what did you guys think, folks? What were the standout moments for that? I think, personally, that Seski being crushed, the Bassatan's missile swarms, the Kurmaraja waking up at the end and trying to do good, but sadly not being able to do enough, and the unfortunate mismatch of reactive armor versus a fully kinetic onslaught. Morsha's uncontested second. I think Snatcher Dizzy tied for third. Okay. I'm not sure, I'm not looking at the scores right here. Sadly, of course...
yeah, it's looking like right now, DME, both of the DME guys win, basically. Blowthorn first place, Mordia second place, and then third place is a tie between myself and Shinrasha, both at 6.1 points. Really 6 points? Okay.
Don't ask.
Right, so we had four rounds, PvP, I mean, and then the one
was if you managed to defeat the AI fleet, I guess. Huh. That was an interesting end. I was not expecting to be double shamed. I mean, that victory sadly did not manage to put its power where it was supposed to put it, really. Dizzy? Hello?
Hello.
Just making sure, because you're much clearer now. You seem to, the choppiness seems to have stopped.
Maybe.
You can continue for the time being. But that was very quick. I mean, there was 4 2-0s. None of it was particularly close, sadly. I don't think any round went like it could have gone both ways. It could have been a lot different if a lot of the capitals didn't do what they were intended to do, I suppose. The low tech.
Some of the capitals did exactly what they were intended to do.
Yeah.
So it's
Very
all
true.
over.
Very true. Yeah. I think all that remains is for me to thank everyone for taking part. Thank all the watchers. Thanks all the players. Thank all the mod makers. Thanks to Oryxon and to Tartiflet for organizing the tournament. And unfortunately, life gets in the way. Cannot carry on. Thank you to Dizzy for co-commentating with me.
Aww.
It is always very helpful to have another voice here, because sometimes I get things in horribly wrong. So,
Well, I mean, I regret that I didn't get to talk more today because my internet's cutting out so hard.
yeah, it's rough.
It's actually the sky's clearing up a little bit. I don't have any faith it's going to last very long, but that's probably why it's working okay now.
Yeah, satellite-based internet.
It's city internet, so they probably have a satellite connection. Yeah. Like, I'm connected to the Wi-Fi for the city.
Fair enough. Yeah, so thank you very much everyone for watching. Now what? I guess I'll catch you guys next time.
Have a good time.
Yeah. For people who are asking when the next Starsector season is going to be, I suspect it's going to be on Monday. I'll probably start...
Jumping right into it, aren't you?
It's either going to be this Monday or next Monday. I haven't decided yet. If I need a bit more of a break between Starsector or not. But it's definitely going to be Blade Breakers. It's definitely going to be like captured ships only. I think it's going to be an interesting run. I'll catch you guys next time, folks. So it's bye from me and bye from Dizzy.
Bye-bye.
Stop the stream! Stop the stream!